What do Pennywise the Clown, spicy Thai food, and Megan Fox have in common? They all hold the secret to making yourself irresistibly attractive to men. And no, before you click away, I'm not telling you to dress up like a clown or look like Megan Fox. Stay with me because in the next 8 minutes, I'm going to share 3 psychology-backed ways to create intense attraction without changing a single thing about your appearance. If you're the girl who's tried everything, looking perfect, saying all the right things, but still feels invisible to the guy you like, this is exactly for you. Let me guess, you've been on those dates where you carefully planned your outfit, made sure your makeup was flawless, rehearsed interesting things to say. You sat across from him at that nice, quiet cafe, had a perfectly pleasant conversation about work and hobbies, said goodbye, and then nothing. He doesn't text, he doesn't seem interested, and you're left wondering what went wrong. Here's the thing. I know how it feels when you're constantly replaying every moment in your head, analyzing what you could have done differently. Maybe you think you weren't pretty enough, or funny enough, or interesting enough. You see other girls who seem to effortlessly capture attention, and you're exhausted from trying so hard to be perfect. I've been there. I'm going to expose myself a little here, but one time I was so obsessed with a guy that I literally deleted all my Spotify playlists and created new ones based on what I thought he'd like. Spoiler alert, he didn't notice, and it didn't work. But here's what nobody tells you about attraction. The problem isn't you. The problem is that we've all been taught the wrong formula for attraction. We think it's about being perfect, saying the right things, looking a certain way. We think attraction equals beauty, plus money, plus flawless conversation. But let me tell you what's really happening. When you're sitting in that quiet cafe, having a safe, pleasant conversation, nothing is actually happening in his brain. There's no spark, no chemistry, no emotional imprint. You become just another nice girl he met once. Forgettable. And this isn't your fault. Nobody teaches us that attraction isn't about what you have. It's about what he feels when he's with you. It's about the emotional experience you create together. Listen to me carefully now, because what I'm about to show you is backed by 28 psychological studies, and it's going to completely change how you think about dating. The secret isn't in trying harder to be perfect. The secret is in understanding how the male brain actually works when it comes to attraction. Here's where it gets really interesting. Back in 1974, 2 psychologists named Dutton and Aaron conducted what became one of the most famous experiments in attraction psychology. They had an attractive woman approach men in 2 different locations. The first group crossed a safe, sturdy bridge. The second group crossed a terrifying suspension bridge that swayed hundreds of feet above a canyon. Same woman, same script. But here's the crazy part. The men who met her on the scary bridge were significantly more likely to call her later and describe her in romantic, passionate terms. The men on the safe bridge, they barely remembered her. Plot twist. It wasn't about the woman at all. It was about the adrenaline. Their hearts were racing from fear, their palms were sweaty from danger, and their brains misattributed all of those intense feelings to attraction. They thought, wow, this woman makes me feel something powerful. This is called misattribution of arousal, and it changes everything. Because it means you can create attraction not by being more beautiful or more perfect, but by creating the right emotional context. So how do you actually use this? Enter the Pennywise Effect. I call it this because it involves something that scares people, horror movies. Now before you say, but I don't like scary movies, or what if he doesn't like them either, hear me out. When you watch a thriller or horror movie together, something fascinating happens. His heart rate increases, adrenaline floods his system, and his brain goes into a heightened state of alertness. And guess who's sitting right next to him during all of these intense feelings? You. You can literally use Pennywise to make him associate you with excitement and intensity. You don't even need something terrifying. Movies like A Quiet Place or Until Dawn work perfectly. The key is creating just enough thrill to trigger that adrenaline response. And here's the beauty of it. If you act just a little scared and lean into him for protection, you're activating his natural instinct to be your protector. This creates emotional bonding on top of the attraction. You're not manipulating him, you're just creating an environment where natural chemistry can flourish. But that's not the only way to do this. The second method is what I call the Chile Effect. And it's honestly one of my favorites, because it's so simple. Instead of taking him to another boring dinner at a quiet restaurant where you talk about work and the weather, take him somewhere that serves spicy food. Now you might think I'm crazy, but listen to the science. When you eat spicy food, your body has a physiological response that's almost identical to fear. Your heart rate increases, you start to sweat slightly, endorphins are released, and your brain shifts into a state of alertness. Your body literally cannot tell the difference between this food is spicy and I'm experiencing something thrilling. And once again, he's feeling all of these intense sensations while sitting across from you. Studies have proven this. Dates that involve heightened arousal, whether from fear, excitement, or yes, even spicy food, lead to stronger attraction and better connection than safe, calm dates. Because here's the thing, if nothing happens on a date, there's nothing for him to feel. And if he doesn't feel anything, he won't remember you. But wait, the third one is even better. Let me blow your mind with this one. We all know Megan Fox became a massive icon after Transformers, right? Now yes, she's beautiful. But here's what most people miss. Men didn't fall for her just because of how she looked, they fell for her because of when and where they first saw her. Think about it. The first time most men saw Megan Fox, she wasn't in a calm, quiet setting. She was in the middle of explosions, car chases, giant robots fighting, intense music, and pure adrenaline-pumping action. Their brains were in a state of complete excitement, and she became part of that high-emotion moment. This is called emotional anchoring. When your brain is in a heightened emotional state, everything around you gets associated with that feeling. She didn't just look attractive, she became the embodiment of excitement and intensity. Here's where everything comes together. You can create the same effect. You don't need explosions, but you do need to stop meeting guys in boring, low-energy environments. Coffee shops and quiet dinners create low-energy memories. Escape rooms, adventure activities, concerts. These create high-energy memories where you become anchored to excitement. So here's what I want you to remember. Stop trying to be perfect. Stop obsessing over saying exactly the right thing or wearing the most expensive outfit. Those things matter way less than you think. What actually matters is this. How does he feel when he's with you? Are you creating memorable, emotionally charged experiences? Or are you playing it safe? The next time you plan something with a guy you like, ask yourself, is this going to give us an adrenaline spike? If the answer is no, change the plan. Watch a thriller instead of a rom-com. Go to that spicy ramen place instead of the quiet Italian restaurant. Try indoor rock climbing instead of another coffee date. You don't need to be crazy or do anything dangerous. You just need to understand that attraction isn't about perfection. It's about intensity. It's about creating moments that make his brain light up and associate all of those feelings with you. And honestly, this works even if you're shy or introverted. The environment does the work for you. You just show up. Here's the truth bomb that changes everything. You're not competing with other girls based on looks or money or how perfectly you can perform. You're creating an emotional experience that's unforgettable. And that you can control. You already have everything you need. You just needed to know how the psychology actually works. So let me know in the comments. What's the most thrilling date you've ever been on? And if you want more psychology like this, hit that subscribe button. This was the Siren Scriptures. Thank you so much for watching. Stay confident, smart, and glowing.